Jai Shri Ram. So now we start with Canto 33. Canto 33, having distributed his immense riches among the Brahmins and others, Sri Ram, accompanied by Sita and Lakshman, proceeds to his father's gynecium to take leave of him, remaining unruffled even on hearing en route the diverse talks of the citizens gathered here and there. With melancholy writ large on their faces, the royal trio reach their destination and urge Sumantra to apprise their royal father of their arrival. So now we start the canto. Having portioned out with Sita, a princess of the Videha clan, abundant riches to the Brahmins, Sri Ram and Lakshman, the two scions of Raghu, for their part proceeded with her to see their father, Emperor Dashrath. Next to them shone the weapons of the two brothers, held by a couple of servants, and nay, decorated with a number of wreaths and worshipped by Sita herself with sandal, paste, etc. Ascending the roofs of the temples and mansions and the tops of 7-storied buildings, wealthy people gazed despondently on them. The streets could not be easily passed through, crowded as they were with many men. Mounting therefore to the top of 7-storied buildings, people looked sorrowfully on Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, from those mansions. Seeing Sri Ram walking with Sita and Lakshman, his younger brother, at that time, many men offered remarks as follows, their mind infatuated with grief. Lo, the same Sri Ram, who was at one time followed by a strong detachment consisting of all 4 limbs, viz., infantry, cavalry, elephants, and chariots, is walking unattended by bodyguards with Sita, followed by Lakshman alone. He who, having tasted the delights of sovereignty, is a great repertory of objects of enjoyment, is anxious not to belie the plighted word of his father, prompted as he is by respect for virtue. Even people on the roads are able today to behold Sita, who could not formerly be seen even by beings coursing in the air. Heat, rain, and cold will quickly reduce to pallor Sita, who deserves to be daubed with pigments such as musk paste and habitually paint her body with the paste of red sandal. Surely King Dashrath has announced today his decision to banish Sri Ram, identifying himself with some evil spirit, for otherwise, had he been his normal self, he would not have sent his dearest son into exile. How could banishment be inflicted even on a son devoid of virtue, much less on him whose character alone has won the affection of the entire world? Harmlessness, compassion, learning, amiability of disposition, subjugation of the senses, and tranquility of mind, these 6 excellences adorned Sri Ram, the foremost of men. People therefore feel extremely pained by the injury which is being done to him by way of unmerited banishment, even as aquatic creatures are afflicted by depletion of water. The whole world feels injured by the suffering inflicted on this protector of the world, even as a tree with its flowers and fruits is damaged by injury caused to its root. For Sri Ram, whose strength is virtue and who is possessed of extraordinary lustre, is the root of the tree of humanity, while other men are flowers and fruits, leaves and boughs. As such, even as Lakshman, we will also, with our wives and relations, forthwith follow the departing Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, on the path the former is going to tread. Relinquishing for good our gardens and fields and houses too, let us follow the pious Sri Ram, sharing his joys and sorrows. Let Kaikai enjoy as her share the dwellings deserted by us and robbed of their substance in every way, their treasurers unearthed, their courtyards neglected, their wealth and stock of food grains removed, nay, covered by dust on all sides, and as such deserted by the deities presiding over them, overrun by mice coming out of their holes and scurrying here and there, water and smoke having disappeared from them, unswept, dilapidated as though by adverse times, and strewn with broken vessels, the rites of offering oblations to all creatures as well as to the sacred fire, worship of gods, the chanting of sacred texts, and muttering of prayers having together ceased. Let the forest itself, for which Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, is leaving, turn into a city, and let the city of Ayodhya, when deserted by us, be converted into a forest. Scared by fear of us, all the snakes will forsake their holes, the deer and birds their abode on the mountain peaks, and elephants and lions the forests. Let them abandon the region going to be inhabited by us and flee for protection to the one forsaken by us. Let Kaikeyi with her son and relations actually obtain as her share the region where grass, meat and fruits can be had in abundance, and which is inhabited by ferocious beasts and birds. We shall, on the other hand, live happily in the forest with Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu. Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, heard the aforesaid remarks of divers kinds uttered by various men. Hearing them, however, his mind was not in the least disturbed. The prince, whose mind was given to piety, for his part, walked once more with the strides of an elephant in rut to the palace of Mother Kaikeyi, which shone as a peak of the Kailash mountain, and in which his father was still lingering. Entering the royal palace, however, which was being guarded by disciplined and valiant soldiers, he saw Sumantra standing disconsolate not very far from the palace, appearing in no way afflicted, even though, seeing the people of Ayodhya, his native place, distressed at that time, Sri Ram, as though smiling, forthwith approached his father, eager to see him and desirous of duly carrying out his behest. Catching sight of Sumantra before that, while approaching the king, who wore a wretched appearance, the high-souled and high-minded Sri Ram, son of Dashrath, a scion of Ikshvaku, waited a while to announce his presence to his father. Perceiving Sumantra, the illustrious Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, who was devoted to his duty and had for his part deliberately made up his mind to retire to the woods in obedience to the command of his father, said to him, "Pray, announce my arrival to His Majesty." Thus ends Canto 33 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Now we come to Canto 34. Apprised of Sri Ram's arrival by Sumantra, Dashrath commands him to usher in Sri Ram with his consort. Seeing the emperor fall unconscious at the very sight of the heir apparent, the ladies of the royal household start wailing piteously. On Sri Ram's soliciting his permission to retire to the woods, the king enjoins him to take his father captive and ascend the throne. Sri Ram, in his turn, consoles his father by assuring him that he has no hankering for royal fortune, and that to him obedience to his father's command is of utmost importance. Dashrath, however, falls unconscious again at the very thought of his separation from Sri Ram, and Sumantra as well as the ladies of the gynecium follow suit. Then the lotus-eyed Sri Ram, who was dark brown of complexion and great beyond compare, spoke as follows to the said charioteer minister: "Please announce me to my father." Promptly going inside, when dispatched by Sri Ram, the charioteer found the king heaving sighs, his mind distracted with agony, so the tradition goes. He regarded the emperor as one would view the sun obscured by intervention of the earth between it and the eye, that is during solar eclipse, or a fire covered with ashes, or a pond without water. Accosting the king, whose mind was extremely agitated and who was grieving for Sri Ram alone, the highly enlightened charioteer spoke with joined palms to him, encouraging Dashrath first with benedictions, wishing him triumph. The charioteer addressed him in a low, soft, and sweet tone, faltering with fear. Having given away all his wealth to the Brahmins as well as to his dependents, Sri Ram, illustrious son of yours, a veritable tiger among men, stands at the door. Let that Ram of unfailing prowess seek you. May good betide you, for having taken leave of all his near and dear ones, he now desires to see your majesty. He is about to proceed to the extensive forest. Pray, behold the prince who is encompassed by kingly virtues, even as the sun is encircled by rays. That pious monarch, who was truthful of speech and white with the ocean in profundity, nay, who was stainless as the sky, replied to him as follows: Sumantra, bring all my consorts who are here in the gynecium. I wish to see Ram, a scion of Raghu, when I am accompanied by my wives. Directly on entering the apartments of the other queens, Sumantra addressed those ladies as follows: His Majesty the King summons you all. Pray, let yourself proceed there without delay. Coming to know the command of their husband, when addressed as above by Sumantra, under orders of His Majesty, all the royal ladies proceeded to Kaikeyi's apartment. Encircling Kaushalya, the senior-most queen, 350 young ladies, steadfast in their vow of devotion to their husband, forthwith repaired to the king's presence, their eyes reddened through grief over their impending separation from Sri Ram. Observing his consorts when they had come, the king emperor said to the celebrated charioteer, Sumantra, now bring my son before me. Taking Sri Ram, Lakshman and Sita, princes of Mithila, the said charioteer speedily returned to the emperor's presence with his face turned towards the latter. Beholding his son, Sri Ram coming with folded hands from a distance, the illustrious king immediately rose from his seat, although along with the ladies, afflicted as he was. Seeing Sri Ram, the said king ran with impetuosity towards the latter. Before reaching him, however, he dropped senseless to the ground, stricken as he was with sorrow. Sri Ram, as well as Lakshman, an eminent chariot warrior, rushed at once to the king, who lay quite unconscious as aforesaid, full of grief as he was through agony. Nay, there burst forth all of a sudden in the palace a loud wail, mixed with the tinkling of ornaments, of thousands of women crying, Alas, alas, O Ram! Supporting him in their arms and crying, both the princes, Sri Ram and Lakshman, along with Sita, laid him on the couch. With folded hands, Sri Ram then spoke as follows to the emperor, who had soon regained his consciousness and was plunged in an ocean of grief, shedding tears. I take leave of you, O Emperor, since you are the master of us all. Pray regard me, who am about to leave for the Dandaka forest with favor. Grant leave to Lakshman and let Sita too accompany me to the forest. Though being forbidden by me on numerous valid grounds, they do not wish to stay behind. Giving up grief, O bestower of honor on all, grant leave to us all, viz. Lakshman, Sita and myself, even as Brahma, the lord of created beings, did to his sons, Sanaka and his 3 brothers, who were intent on practicing austerities in the forest. Fixing his gaze on Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, who was coolly awaiting his majesty's permission to dwell in the forest, the king said, I have been deprived of my senses by Kaikeyi. through a boon granted by me in her favor. O scion of Raghu, taking me captive, therefore, be you the king of Ayodhya. Joining his palms when told thus by the king, Sri Ram, the foremost of champions of righteousness, who was a master of expression, replied as follows to his father: Be you the ruler of the globe for another 1,000 years. O king, for I, for my part, shall live in the forest, since there is no ambition for sovereignty in me. Having diverted myself in the course of my sojourn in the forest for 9 years and 5, I shall clasp your feet once more after redeeming my pledge, O ruler of men. Being urged in secret by Kaikeyi, the afflicted monarch who was held fast in the fetters of truth, then said, weeping to his aforesaid beloved son, Proceed, my darling, with an undisturbed mind on a happy and safe journey which may bring you happiness hereafter and prosperity in this world and bring you back to Ayodhya. Your decision to dwell in the forest, O the delight of the Raghus, truthful as you are by nature, and your mind being given to piety, O darling, cannot be reversed. Pray, do not leave any case today, and stay at least for this night with me, so that I may live happily by your side at least for a day. Looking at your mother and myself, stay on the coming night today. Having been gratified by me with all desired objects, you may leave the very next morning. Something which is in every respect hard to accomplish for others is being done by you, my beloved son, since it is for my sake that the forest is thus being resorted to by you, O scion of Raghu. But I swear by my faith, my son, your exile is not agreeable to me. O Ram, on the other hand, I have been deflected from my course by Kaikeyi, who concealed her intentions and thus resembled a fire covered with ashes. How noble of you that, egged on by Kaikeyi, who has cast to the winds the time-honored family custom of a kingdom being inherited by the eldest son, you seek to redeem a pledge which was fraudulently extracted from me. It is no great wonder, my child, that you, my seniormost son, both in point of age and virtue, should seek to make your father free from mendacity. Distressed to hear on that occasion the request of his afflicted father, Sri Ram, along with his younger brother Lakshman, submitted as follows: Tomorrow, who will offer me the delicacies which I hope to get today? I should therefore only prefer to get away in lieu of all the enjoyments you can offer. Relinquished by me, this earth, including the state of Koshala and its people, and full of riches and food grains, may be made over to Bharat. My resolution to dwell in the forest shall in no case be shaken. The boon which was granted by you on the battlefield in favor of Kaikeyi, O bestower of boons, may therefore be implemented in toto at all events, and thus vindicate you your truthfulness, O ruler of the earth. Carrying out your aforesaid command, I shall dwell in the forest with ascetics for 14 years. Let there be no demur on your part. The earth may be made over to Bharat. Indeed, neither sovereignty nor joy nor what is pleasing to the mind is coveted by me. On the other hand, to do as enjoined by you is solely desired by me, O the delight of the Raghus. Let your sorrow disappear, and let you not be bathed in tears. The ocean, the lord of the rivers, which it is so difficult to assail, does not overstep its bounds. I do not at all hanker for sovereignty or joy, nor again for the earth, nor in any case for all these delights of sense, nor for heaven, nor even for life. I swear by my veracity and virtue earned by me in my past lives as well as by you in your presence. I only wish you to prove true to your word and never be false, O dwell among men. Nor is it possible for me, dear Father, to stay on at home even for an instant longer. Therefore, restrain this grief, my Lord, for there is no going back upon my word now. Since I have been commanded by Mother Kaikeyi in the words, proceed to the forest, O scion of Raghu, and the reply given by me was, I am going, I must redeem that pledge of mine. Nor should you feel anxious on our score. My Lord, we shall sport in the forest, crowded with highly peaceful deer and rendered noisy by birds of various kinds. Indeed, a father has been declared to be a veritable deity even among gods. Hence, I shall do the bidding of my father, yourself, as that of God. When 14 years have elapsed, you will find me come back, O dwell among kings. Hence, let this agony be given up. Wherefore, O tiger among men, have you fallen a victim to grief, you by whom all these other people, bathed in tears, ought to be consoled? Renounced by me the city of Ayodhya and the state of Koshala and the rest of the globe too may be given to Bharat. Obeying your command, I for myself shall proceed to the forest in order to dwell in it for long. Let Bharat rule over the globe, including the mountain ranges and cities with their gardens relinquished by me. He should neither enjoy the sovereignty nor feel proud of it, but keep within the bounds of righteousness, salutary for a king. Let the pledge which has been given by you to Kaikeyi come to be true, O protector of men. My heart is not given so much to the great delights of sense coveted by all, nor to that which is pleasing to the mind, as to the carrying out of your command, which is approved by the wise. Let your agony on my score, O sinless king, altogether disappear. Disfiguring you who are full of anxiety on my score with the stigma of mendacity, I do not on any account court eternal sovereignty, nor all the delights of sense coveted by the world, nor the entire earth, nor even Sita, princess of Mithila, today, O sinless one. Therefore, let your pledge given to Kaikeyi prove true. Living in the forest on fruits and roots and viewing the mountains, rivers and lakes, I shall be happy the moment I enter the forest consisting of various trees. Let peace come to you on this account. Embracing his son, Sri Ram, who had spoken as above, King Dashrath, who had fallen on evil days and was being tormented with a burning sensation and agony, fell utterly unconscious to the ground and did not show any sign of life at all. Barring that favorite consort of Dashrath, Kaikeyi, all the queens assembled there began to cry. Weeping aloud, Sumantra too fell into a swoon, and everyone there began to lament loudly. Thus ends Canto 34 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Jai Shri Ram.